Pour some drinks, dude.
Let's do this. Let's do this old school.
I put some whiskey into my glass. Can you see how much is in there?
Yes, yeah. Nice.
It was an accident. Although I'm a bartender, so it's hard to say when you pour too much alcohol that it's an accident. And I pre-funked too. So this is my funk. I pre-funked, and then I'll probably post-funk later.
I'll be post-funking later.
Yeah.
When I watch Entourage.
What season are you in?
I think 4.
Okay.
It's the season where they
where all the women are super hot.
That's the one. They did Medellin.
Okay.
And but it hasn't.
Jonah was just there 2 days ago.
In Colombia?
Mm-hmm. Is that some wellness retreat or something? It looked insane.
Wellness retreat. All it is, like, wellness retreats are so stupid.
Well, I think it's like,
I mean, they're awesome. I'd love to go on one, but it's like, this is just going on a vacation and spending extra money so that someone could like have you sit in a lotus position for half an hour and chant something.
Yeah, I think it's like a big meditation retreat, and then with the, I think there might be like an ayahuasca like ceremony at some point in it too. Which is he did one last year, and he just like he thought it was incredible, like just and I loved it because he called me the next day. He's just like, I love you so much, Dad. You know, like I'm like, let's keep doing these. This is great.
Yeah, just keep taking those drugs.
Yeah. Speaking of, I wanted to make sure you saw my shirt.
Cardiff Electric. Wow, that's the from *Halt and Catch Fire*.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that where I got that Misfit or Misfit? Not Misfit. Mutiny.
Yeah, Mutiny.
They were both gifts from Lane.
No, I thought they were from oh my God, Claire. I thought Claire sent them to us.
Well, I think the World's Okayest Catholic T-shirt was from Lane.
Yes.
Yeah, because I wear my Miss Mutiny one all the time, and I was wondering like which I knew that you got one that was different, but I never knew what it was. I've never seen you wear it.
I never wear it because it's a little too small on me, but I still I'm not doing great with the working out. I mean, I'm doing really good with I've been working out consistently hard for like 2 months and been in a calorie deficit every day because I had the back problem and I couldn't do anything. I just gained a bunch of weight. It wasn't great. And I kind of from like November to like February before I hurt my back, I was just kind of lazy on the working out. And then that happened. But since like I think June 10th or around there, I started working out really hard, calorie deficit, and I am the exact same weight as I was on June 10th when I started. And I mean, I have been like, you know how I am when I do this. Like when I start logging my food, I am like,
when Christian starts weighing the granules of salt, on a scale.
I've got a scale, and I go by grams, not ounces, and I am just like, very religious strict about it. But I was 195.6 on June 10th, and I weighed myself this morning, and I was 195.4, and I'm like, well,
and you try to convince yourself like, for every pound of fat I lose, I gain a pound of muscle. That's why the scale doesn't move. But it's like after a while, you're like, or
nothing's working anymore because I'm in my 50s. Yeah, I don't know. I have been like measuring my stomach, and my stomach has gone down about 1.25 inches. So I know like, but I'm still 3.5 inches larger on my stomach than I was a year ago from right now. So it's weird, but like this shirt is a shirt that if I am like have not been exercising, it makes me look fat. But I put it on today just for this because I know we're recording for video, and I was like, it looks okay. And I'm only from the chest up. I look good from the bottom of
the rib cage. Like
I look great from there. Yeah.
Dude, I weighed myself this morning.
Yeah.
169.
That's crazy.
And I'm working out every day or 4 days a week and drinking 2 protein shakes a day. Yeah. So it's not just like I've just starved myself down to this.
Yeah.
So I was pretty happy about that because it's like
I would be too. Although I would look weird at 169, but I know that stuff is happening because the weight that I'm lifting over the last 2 months has gone up substantially. So it's like, okay, I know I'm getting in better shape. I feel in better shape, but it's just slow this time. And I'm like, it's just one of those things like, is this what's going to happen? I'm going to keep getting older, and then the workout is going to keep taking longer and longer
Yes.
to take effect.
Yes.
So don't let myself go for 6 months, because it is so much harder to like go back to where you were before.
Like, it's weird. Like, you have your 3 triceps muscles, and like the lowest one.
I didn't know there was 3, but I do know that there are triceps.
Well, like a tricycle is a wheel with a
what
bike
is
with 3
sep?
wheels.
What is sep?
Huh?
What, you know what tri means? What is sep?
7.
No, that's CEP. Are you saying there's 21? Like,
no. I was just gonna say the lowest muscle in your tricep for me, it's just gone.
Really?
Like, it's just gone. Like I can see my tricep definition up here.
Yeah.
But like the one that was down here that I used to be able to feel like a nice little like bump where it's like, there it is.
Yeah.
It's just kind of gone.
Really?
And it's like, granted, I'm not working out in a gym, but I am doing resistance training.
Yeah.
But it's like, does that just mean it's just gone? Like, you can't have that now?
Right.
Can you get it back? How?
How hard is it to get it back? Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah. Getting old, man.
Yeah.
I saw this thing. I think I shared it. It was like, being in your 50s is like weird because you're like the youngest of the old people, but you're also the oldest of the young people. You're like the middle child of aging. You're like the Jan Brady, of aging.
Yeah.
Because you're like right there riding that little tightrope, walking that tightrope between the two.
Greg, Bobby, and what's the middle?
Peter.
Yeah.
Played by Christopher Knight.
Right. That's right.
Barry Williams played Greg, and Mike Lookinland played Bobby. Obviously.
Clearly.
Yeah. Clearly.
You
know what's weird? You know who played Alice?
No, but I assume she was like 29 in that show.
Yeah. But her name was Ann B. Davis.
Yeah.
And you know who played the cigarette smoking man on the X-Files? William B. Davis.
Really?
Like, what are the chances that like 2 different actors, 20 years apart, would have a B. Davis as their middle initial and last name? That's weird, right? There's got to be something to that.
Yeah,
interesting. I think the Illuminati is leaving breadcrumbs for us to,
clearly
decode.
Yeah, clearly, yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. So, dude, you're going to be up here tomorrow. We're going to hang out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to
I got a text from Juji. Juji asked me today, have you when you go to Washington? I go on Wednesday, and she goes, enjoy Last of the Mohicans.
I love that. Well, I hope you do enjoy it. I'm so excited to rewatch it and to watch it with you. It's just that whole like.
So that is what we're watching? Yeah.
Seeing something with somebody who's never seen it, a person you care about, a movie you care about, they've never seen it, So
I'm excited because I've heard that it's just every single frame will blow my mind. Every sentence of dialogue, every musical piece in the score, everything about it.
Yeah,
it's just mind-blowing.
This is going to be a failure. It's funny. So I figured out right before this, for those of you who are listening to this, you can watch this also on YouTube. We put the last 3 episodes up on YouTube. Obviously not like ton of people watching, but with 40, 50 views, which is pretty cool. But we can take little clips of this pretty easily and put it. You can select the format you want, if you want like 16:9 or vertical, and then put them on like TikTok or whatever. So I think I'm going to grab some of the Pastor Jacks off at the ends and start throwing them up there. So
yeah, YouTube has a stupid like 59-second rule. Like, nothing can be considered a short unless it's vertically oriented and less than a minute.
Right.
Which is annoying because it's like when I was doing video content and making shorts out of it, it's like, dude, I'm taking out every little gap in between sentences. Yeah. And it's like, it's so, and you get it down to where it's like dialed in perfect. It's like a minute and 1 second. You're like, God, like why? Right. Like, I think if you have the rules may have changed, or if you have some sort of premium account, because I do see shorts that are longer, but I think you got to pay for that or something.
Well, with TikTok and Instagram and Facebook Reels, we can put up whatever we want. So anyway, let's get started. I'm Christian.
I'm Jason.
And you're listening to Drunk Ex-Pastors. It's what happens when you pre-funk and you're in your 50s. You have to go to the
I looked
bathroom.
up. I wasn't paying attention. I looked up, and you're just not there. I'm like, oh.
I tried to get
the
your
rapture
attention.
happened.
I tried to get your attention. I'm like, I gotta go. Anyway, I think one of the kind of pains of doing the video editing is like adding in like the intermission and stuff. And I'm like, what should we even have? What's the point of putting up an intermission or even the intro thing really on video? I don't even know what the point of it is on audio.
Yeah, we're just sleepwalking our way through this.
Yeah,
at this point.
It's true.
Well, I look at like video content now.
Yeah.
And it's so good.
Yeah.
Like every second reel I see is like production quality off the charts. And it's just like, why even bother trying, because it's like, it's just every single thing looks like it was, professionally produced.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you even compete?
Yeah. Well, I don't think that I'm not putting these up being like, oh, this is going to get us a bunch of new followers. It's more just like, I think some people might like to watch the video of it, or have it on.
Robert Cunningham. He loves it.
He likes it. Yeah.
That's enough. Our South African fan.
Yeah. Yeah. That's enough.
He's worth it. For you, Brew.
He's worth it.
Yeah.
All right. If you would like to become a patron of Drunk Ex Pastors, you can do that at patreon.com/drunkexpastors. And if you'd like to leave us a voicemail, you can do that at 213-97-DRUNK, 213-973-7865. And I've got a voicemail that I'm going to play for us. Hold on,
I got you just saying all that stuff made me think of something.
Okay.
I have to ask you a question.
Okay. Do I know that number by heart yet? No, I don't.
Yeah, 213-97-DRUNK. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Okay, you know how you mix up your vowels like pillow, pillow?
Yeah. Yeah.
And milk.
Yeah.
Like, do you know you're doing it? Or when it's pointed out to you, and there's a reason I'm asking this, but like when it's pointed out to you, obviously you don't think about it because that's how you pronounce it. But when someone says, did you just say milk? And you're like, oh yeah, milk, sorry. Like, can you hear the difference? And you just have to be told that you're saying it wrong?
I even when I'm told, because it comes up all the time, because especially with Sky, I say pillow all the time.
Yeah.
And she
looks. You call it a
funny.
Peloton? The thing you work out on, a Peloton?
A Peloton. But I really can't hear that much of a difference.
Well, I was thinking about it today. Like I was listening to this
penguin.
Yeah.
Milk.
Like I like there's this podcast host that does this, and it drives me crazy. I was listening to him today, and he kept saying, like he's trying to say words with a long A, like failure or grail, but he's like the Apostle Peter failed. He failed here. It was a complete and utter failure.
Yeah,
and I'm like, all right, like do you not hear it? He's doing it on several different things to the point where it's distracting. But then what gets me even more like upset is like professional media people. Like there's a guy, Max Blumenthal. He's a journalist with the Gray Zone. Really great journalist. But he, to this day, calls him Robert Mueller and the Mueller report.
Right.
When the whole Mueller investigation was happening with Trump and the Mueller report came out. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, everyone who first saw his last name, Mueller, pronounced it Mueller because that's how you pronounce that.
Right.
But then the second you spend 4 seconds paying attention, everyone in the media and in government and in politics calls him Mueller. So you're like, that's how he pronounces it. It's Mueller.
That's why
everyone.
That's why I call the Matthew Broderick movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, Ferris Bueller. But it's like this guy who your entire job is talking in front of a camera or in front of a microphone about politics. Do you not know? Because like you're calling it Mueller.
Wasn't there a preacher,
do you not hear the
George
difference?
George Mueller?
Well, there's a million Muellers.
But wasn't there like a famous preacher like in the old timey days with biographies about him called like George Mueller or something?
Yeah. Did he start orphanages or something? I don't know. Maybe that was Hudson Taylor.
That sounds right.
But like things like that where it's like, and like pillow is like subtle. But Mueller, especially when you must have listened to 100,000 different audio clips since 2016 of media people and political people and the president himself talking about Robert Mueller.
Right.
And yet you still call him Mueller. And this is your job. Like, I want to, like, if I could ask Max Blumenthal one question, this would be it. Like, do you hear it?
Yeah.
Like when people told me I say ancient wrong, I never knew. I assumed I'm saying it the way everyone else says it. But now that I listen to people say it, I'm like, oh yeah, they don't say the hard K.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's interesting. Like, oh, I never even knew. I've said the word ancient a million times and no one ever corrected me until this podcast.
Yeah.
So I know what it's like to have been pronouncing something wrong for decades.
Yeah.
But it's like Mueller and Mueller. Like, how?
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally walking on my walk today with my AirPods in, listening to this guy, and every time he pronounces something wrong, I'm correcting him out loud. I must have sounded crazy to people if they were walking by me, because he's like, this was like the Holy Grail, the Holy Grail. I'm like, Grail, AI.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. No, we're good. All right, I've got a voicemail for us. I didn't totally understand everything, but I think it might be because the person is British.
Is this the one that came today? I saw the transcript of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like, it made no sense.
Well, I thought maybe it'll make more sense when I listen to it, but then I listened to it right before we got on here and I'm like, I don't think that really helped.
I want to tell the audience there's the email about checking in for my flight. It was sent to you.
I thought about that, like playing reading the transcript, because we used to do that because Google was so bad at like figuring out what people were saying 10 years ago.
Well,
remember that?
Yeah, we used to do a thing called "Go Home, Google, You're Drunk." But how come right now I'm not?
Do you have it? Because I have it.
Go ahead.
Hey guys, firstly, Chrissy, big cuffs as cool as jelly.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I found it now too. What?
You could read the rest if you want.
Yeah, he goes, that's what Bank of Wankers were around the office. Secondly, Jason will know you're not seeing, so thanks for just coming out and saying it. Sadly, I'm loving me a recent episodes where you having a bit of booze. I don't want to encourage drinking, having a lot of fun, loving it. 4 Can You said, I mean, this is number 1, to be honest. This is why I called. Can you send also get the recipe out there into the world so that we can all make love you That's it. So I'm so curious what the person actually says.
All right, here we go.
And I'm assuming it's a man because women don't listen to this show. Well, some do, but none of them ever call.
Not anymore.
Hey guys, firstly, Chrissy Big Calves, it's called a gilet. That's what banker wankers wear around the office.
This is surprisingly accurate. Everything he's saying matches what this is a really good job of Google transcribing this. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I heard him
saying, first of all, big calves. So he's talking about my legs, I think. My guess.
Oh, big cuffs. Okay.
Big calves, and then something about what they wear.
All right, start it over. We're gonna get it.
I don't know how to start it over. Let me see. Let me stop. Okay, let's try this again.
Hey guys, firstly, Chrissy Big Calves, it's called a gilet. That's what banker wankers wear around the office.
It's called a gilet.
Like agile, just pronounced fancily. Is that what he's saying?
That's what banker wankers.
Yeah, so I think he's talking about the athleisure wear.
Yeah.
Like that I was kind of making fun of, just like kind of like a guy who's golfing, but he's not really golfing. But like,
right.
I just was golfing a minute ago.
Right. Yeah. All right.
Secondly, Jason, we all knew you were a Nazi, so thanks for just coming out and saying it.
I'm so curious.
So it says, Jason will know you're not seeing. So thanks for just coming out and saying it. So Jason, we all know you're a Nazi. So thanks for just coming out and saying it.
Because I was talking about like the economic.
How cool Hitler is.
Yeah, the economic boom under Adolf in the 30s. Look, man, he's also a really good artist. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, not as good as I wish he had been. Here we go.
recent episodes where you're having a bit of booze. I don't want to encourage drinking, well, more than necessary, but yeah, I feel like you guys are having a lot of fun, loving it. Fourth, can you share the recipe for the chilf? I mean, this is number one, to be honest. This is why I called. Can you send us or get the recipe out there into the world so that we can all make the chilf? Love you. Bye.
Yeah, I've sent it to a lot of people before. I think I've even posted it in the DXP patrons group. The problem is I don't know who this is, and I don't know how to get the chilf recipe to him.
I feel like hitting them with the it's been made, like, the secrets of the kingdom have been made known to some, but not to all, right? And so it's like, if you know, but
I wonder if there's a way to. I'm kind of looking at their phone number because obviously it's an international number. What country is this?
Is it 44? That would be England.
No, it's Hong Kong. Oh, it's Hong Kong. It's our British caller from Hong Kong. We've talked to him before. He's left a voicemail before.
I thought it was going to be our Chinese caller from London, but well, you could always just like say he's going to listen to this, so you could say he can respond to us.
Do you think we have any women?
Any women?
What?
I heard you say? Do you think we have any women?
I know there are. I know there are some women who still listen. I just think we had some really vocal women for a while who loved us.
I love women
on their side about everything.
It's when they get vocal. Once they start getting vocal, lippy, uppity.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we had some very vocal women. Like I said, they loved us as long as we agreed with everything they said, pretty much, and didn't otherwise. And seemed to lack some nuance based on that screenshot I sent you the other day, where the person was if you think this, just block me right now or whatever. And I'm like, there's no room for nuance in this at all of what you're bringing up. I have to agree with you that every vaccine in the entire world is amazing, or else you're gonna I should unfriend you right now.
Like, here's where this stuff drives me nuts, is when the thing that you're talking about, when you say, if you disagree with A, B, and C, then just unfriend me now because it's a bridge too far. But when A, B, and C are things that are like brand new, it's one thing to say, if you disagree that, that Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Okay, well, all right. That's something that we've had a long time to like debate about. Yeah, I think he did cross the ocean. But when it's like, the 79 infant vaccinations that we get, even though 10 years ago we only got 4, and somehow I'm supposed to have caught up to that insane acceleration of vaccinations and be on board, like, even though just a generation ago it was completely different, Yeah. Or like when people get upset about trans stuff, and it's like, look, I'm all for like loving everybody and giving everybody equal dignity, but it's like, you got to understand that like these categories are brand new, like hot off the presses, brand new. And so when you I just think it's so stupid to hold someone accountable for something that just dropped.
Right.
Like, if you don't call them Latinx, then you're a racist. It's like, first of all, they don't call themselves Latinx, and secondly, that term got invented like last week. So you don't have to virtue signal that hard.
I had these two ladies at the bar on Saturday, I think, and I was they were sitting in the splash zone, like 20 and 21, like right in front of the bar, and right in front of where I'm making drinks. And so I'm hearing their whole conversation, but they're catching up, and this lady is like, "Oh my God, my boss used the R word the other day, and it just made me love them so much."
Nice.
Because I thought they were all uptight, and then they used the word, and I'm like, oh my God, my heart is warming or whatever, And so then I started talking to them a little bit, and they're Gen X, like about the same age as us, And I was like, yeah, I think that word is making a comeback. And like, really? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, it's just becoming more and more normal to hear this word being used. And I said, I think it's because it's becoming so far removed from when when you actually use that word about a person, you know, like like to people who are actually mentally disabled. Like it just comes so far away from that now. Nobody is calling mentally disabled people retarded, and it's just becoming just a funny slang word that doesn't have anything to do with being mentally disabled.
I am proud that I never stopped using it. So
I'm so proud of you.
I've been riding this retard wave for years. But it's like I remember I was watching
and
Louis
this is why we don't have any female listeners anymore.
I was watching Louis C.K. He has a whole bit on he has a couple different bits, but he talks about how when I was a kid, like at Christmas time, you'd walk out of the department store in Boston and there'd be like someone with a charity person ringing a bell going like, help the retarded. Help the retarded, It was like totally normal. Like there'd be movies of the week, like a young retarded boy, wants to get a job or whatever. It's like a movie of the week. It was like normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he goes, we don't say it anymore, and I don't see him anymore. And I think there's some sort of correlation. He's like, back in the 70s, you'd use the word, and there was a retarded kid on in a windbreaker on every street corner in America. Yeah. But like now, when's the last time you saw one? And we don't say it. Like maybe there's some sort of connection there.
Yeah. I just watched that bit with Shane Gillis yesterday where he's talking about how his uncle Danny or whatever is Down syndrome. And he's like, they're like, they ask him like, oh, is he okay? He's like, he's the best of all of us. He's like having the greatest time ever. He's sneaking grilled cheese sandwiches into the restaurant and like eating them and like just being like having the most wonderful time of life ever.
Yeah. They're doing great. It's us. We need to worry about ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. So Sky and I watched a movie this week called The Drama. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I think so. I think I saw some like muted trailer that I scrolled past.
It's Robert Pattinson and Zendaya.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, she's contractually obligated to be in every film, so that tracks.
Well,
she's in it.
I saw a TikTok the other day, and it said it was like a guy going up to a box office, and he's like, "Hey, I want to get a ticket for the new Tom Holland movie," and they're like, "Oh, I'm not sure which one you're talking about. There's a couple," and he goes, "Oh, it's the one with Zendaya in it," and he's like,
"Again,
yeah, you're still." He goes, "Well, it's got John Bernthal in it," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna need more. That he's in both of the movies right now." And then he went like 3 or 4 more things that were the exact same as the Odyssey and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't mind Zendaya. I kind of want to go back and watch Euphoria seasons 2 and 3 because I've heard they're really, really good. But I also don't get the obsession with her. Like I don't find her like she's not my type. Let me just say
all the memes and the social media.
Not that I think she's cute, but I'm not like,
Well, everything for whatever reason, the algorithm I'm in teaches me that that we don't like her. She's boring and can't act, and she's just in everything for no reason. Like, we're making a movie, Dune, throw Zendaya in it.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I did watch the first few seasons of Euphoria. And it's fine. I mean, it's like
there was only 3 seasons. So did you watch all of it?
Oh, I think I only watched the first 2.
Okay.
I didn't watch. I don't think I watched like the ending of it.
Yeah.
But it was. I mean, it was like.
I like season 1.
Yeah, it was a bit sensationalistic, I think.
Yeah. So, what was my point? Oh yeah, the drama. So Robert Pattinson, Zendaya. It came out like a while ago, I guess. It's just kind of newly. You can watch it online. But it's about this couple who are getting married. It kind of follows their relationship. Then they're getting married, and it's about a week before their wedding, and they are having dinner at the place where they're like going to have the wedding. They're like doing like wine tasting and stuff, and somehow the conversation just gradually moves to this place where they're like, what's the worst thing you've ever done? Right. And so each person starts going around saying what the worst thing they've ever done is. And this is all in the trailer. And then at some point they get to Zendaya. She's like, I think she's the last one. And she says what the worst thing is she's ever done. They don't show it in the trailer, but it like blows everything up. It changes everything. Like changes the way everybody sees her. It changes whether or not her fiance Robert Pattinson wants to marry her. It's just like, and I wanted to watch this movie just to know what the fuck it is.
Yeah, I'm curious
says.
now too. Did
Okay.
you like the movie?
I did like it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to ask for spoilers unless you were planning on giving one.
I think I might tell you what she says and tell everybody that give everybody a spoiler alert here. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like a great movie. It's entertaining. It's shot very interestingly, but
well, the interesting thing about it is, what would be your deal if you were engaged to be married for the first time? What could she potentially say that would be the deal breaker for you?
Yeah. Okay, so let's do a spoiler alert. Spoiler alert for the next 5 minutes, because I think this is going to inspire a bit of conversation. Because I remember watching the trailer and being like, I don't know what anybody could possibly say. Like, to me, it was like, oh, she used to be a man. Like, I'm like, that's all I could really think of. Like, all I could think of that Skye could say to me is like, by the way, I used to have a dick and I had it surgically
But she wouldn't
changed.
consider that the worst thing she's ever done. Like, if someone is going to marry you who's a trans woman and you don't know about it, that trans woman wouldn't be like, this is the worst thing I've ever done. It might be what's your biggest secret.
True.
So
yeah, but it would be something that would be like, I love you, but you're not the person I thought you were. So let's be friends. And,
yeah.
But anyway, so the thing that she says is that she planned and almost executed a school shooting.
Okay, I'm listening. I mean, like, what happened? What forced you into that situation? Why did you need to do that? Who were your intended targets? This is not a deal breaker yet. I'm still here.
Well, she was kind of a nerdy, overweight kid in high school and didn't have a good experience. Got her father's gun, was like practicing and ready, and had a whole plan. It wasn't just like, because you're thinking, and then you're also thinking like, okay, well why you stopped. We talked about this on the second night when we watched the second half of it, because I'm like, I didn't remember why she didn't actually go through with it. And so I'm like, well, but she probably just like is going to say, I didn't do it because I didn't want to kill people, but the reason she didn't go through with it was because somebody else beat her to it.
Like, I would want to marry that girl, I like it. You take matters into your own hands. You don't just wait for a man to come help. You just, like, I need some people killed.
I was like,
let's
go. Did inspire a lot of conversation with me and Skye, because it's like, because the whole time I'm like, what could she say? Whatever. But then I'm just like, oh, I'm with a potential psychopath. Like, I'm with somebody who was planning to actually go kill a bunch of people. Like, what happens when we get in a fight or you get depressed, or like, are you going to kill me in my sleep? Is this going to be like a Phil Hartman type, like, murder suicide thing?
I would be going like, okay, but since you're thin now, you're not murderous anymore, right? So let's talk about that. Like, we'll get you a treadmill. We'll put you on a plan. We'll keep you nice and keep it nice and tight. And let's like not kill anybody,
Yeah. So they keep like showing Robert Pattinson's imagination. And it'll be like he'll be having a dream, right? And it's like it'll be. Was
it like a comedy or a drama?
It's a dramedy, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. But like he'll be dreaming about like his wedding, and you just look and there's just like dead bodies everywhere because she just went crazy and killed everybody at the wedding.
Well, that's what happened in Game of Thrones, right? It's like this whole 8 seasons or whatever of like Daenerys Targaryen, the heir to the Iron Throne. She's got her dragons hatched. They're full grown. She's got her army. She's got the Dothraki. She's got the Unsullied. Right. And then it's like when it comes down to the moment and she just goes, you know what? Fuck this. And she just kills everybody. She just like loses control and has a moment and kills everybody.
The most even-keeled, kindest, like freeing all the slaves person for 8 seasons or whatever.
Yeah.
And then at that time of the month happens. She just kills everybody.
Yeah, just Shark Week, and it's like, it's a bloodbath, literally.
Oh my God. Anyway, I enjoyed the movie. But I mostly just wanted to watch to hear what it is she could possibly say. And then she said it. At first I'm like, oh, that's not that bad. And then the longer it went on, I'm like, oh yeah, this would change how I think about you, like quite a bit, Yeah. It was.
Do they, since you spoiled the movie already, do they get married?
I'm not going to tell you.
Okay. Well, now that's I need to know that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what's so funny is I'll see in my memories on Facebook when I scroll through them every morning, like memories that came out after like 2003, but before 2012. And they'll be like, I need to know if Jesse made his flight back to New York or if he stayed in Paris with Celine. Yeah. And I don't think I'm ever going to get any resolution on this because I'm talking about before midnight.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. No one knew if there was going to be a third one, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel that.
Just this morning, a TikTok popped up for me and it was like some guy who's going through the top 100 movies. And he was on number 83, which was Before Sunrise. And he like, it's like one of those like 5 or 10 minute like movie reviews. I watched the whole thing and they show long clips of it. And I'm like, this is amazing. I love this. And I almost left a comment where I'm like, yeah, Before Sunrise is amazing and it deserves to be 83, but I hope Before Sunset is in there as like, 41 or whatever, because it was even improved upon even on Before Sunrise.
I think my favorites would be the second one, Before Midnight, and then probably Before Sunrise, and then probably before Sunset, then Before Sunrise, then Before Midnight. So 2, 1, and 3, I think. Which is the same ordering of my original Star Wars trilogy. Yeah, 2, 1, and 3. Although 3 is not even in my top 3. Like Return of the Jedi.
2 and 3 is the LA area code. So like, why are we following that pattern?
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I put Force Awakens higher than Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi is my 4th favorite Star Wars film.
Yeah. Yeah. I would too. Same.
Sorry, everybody.
Are the prequels like 7, 8, and 9?
Whatever there only 9? There are only 9, right? Yeah. The prequels are 7, 8, 9. Just like with U2, it's like, I'm always shifting my order of my favorite albums by U2, but everything since 2000 are the last ones. So whatever order they're in, the 80s and 90s albums are already higher up than anything after 2000. And whatever order they're in, it's those ones that are last.
Right. All right, let's take a quick break. Sorry, I had to make some popcorn.
Are you high?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Why? Do I seem high?
Well, no, but like making popcorn unannounced is like the kind of thing you do if you're high.
It's the second time I made popcorn in the last hour. It's for Weston and Hazel because they're watching a movie upstairs. So they were all out of popcorn. So, yeah. I have to say, though, dude, air popped popcorn with some butter and salt. Like, I don't know why we ever got into like, oh, microwave popcorn. Like, it is not good compared to air popped pop.
Microwave popcorn is amazing.
Yeah, not compared to air popped. I'll make you some tomorrow night. We'll make some popcorn. We'll watch Last of the Mohicans and be like, oh, yeah, this is way better.
What's the difference? It's like, it's not air popped. It's heat popped. It's heating.
Well, first of all, microwave popcorn is supposed to be really like one of the like number one bad things for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't believe that. It makes no sense. It's like here's what's in this: kernels of corn and butter and like congealed butter. Yeah. And then heat just turns it into popcorn. I don't see how the method of making it has any relevance to like, oh, it's healthy if you eat it this way, but if you cook it this way, it's not.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just what I've heard. But the funny thing is that popcorn is like a really healthy food. Like popcorn on its own, until you throw a bunch of butter on it, is like a whole grain. It's like it's good for you. But about
Have you seen that meme or the tweet that was like, so like, are we going to find out if other foods get amazing if you like heat them up really hot or just stopping with corn?
Right. Right. Yeah, I wonder who first figured that out. What they were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and you'd think they would try it with everything. Like, dude, what if we put like a grain of wheat and just heat it up? Maybe it turns into like some crazy bread from Little Caesars. Right. You never know.
Right. All right. I've got a video for us.
Oh, we're on. I didn't even know we're on.
Yeah, we're on.
I'm gonna refresh my whiskey here.
I'm looking at popcorn. For most people, the biggest issue with microwave popcorn isn't that it's toxic. It's that many versions are highly processed and packaged in ways you'd probably rather avoid if you're already putting effort into eating well.
But I feel like that's true of everything.
So this is air popped kernels, 9.5 out of 10. Silicone microwave popper with plain kernels, 9 out of 10. Most butter flavored microwave popcorn bags, 5 out of 10.
Have you ever tried to figure out the caloric intake of popcorn? It's impossible because you look at the back of the box.
I've got it.
No, it'll be like unpopped. It's half a cup. I'm like, what? Okay, so half a cup. So if I just eat these kernels and just tear my teeth up,
200 calories.
You're giving me that information, but like, what if I pop it? Because like, what's half a cup of popped corn is like 4 kernels of popcorn.
Yeah,
because they take up a lot of space.
Would a half cup of unpopped popcorn kernels fill you up the same as that half cup of popcorn would if it was popped?
I don't think any of it fills you up.
Not.
I mean, doesn't it seem like you could just eat popcorn continuously and never die? It's like you're never going to be full. This is not even anything.
But I do love the feeling because sometimes
it's like cotton candy.
Because I am like logging my food right now, I will measure exactly the grams of popcorn kernels and, like know that, okay, this is 250 calories of popcorn. And then I'm going to add a tablespoon of butter on, which is another 110 calories. So now we're at 360, and I'll like figure it out. And then like, I'll be like, oh man, the best feeling though is when I'm watching a movie and I get down, there's still some left and I'm slowing down on cause at first it's just like, and then like, by the end I'm like, and then like 30 seconds later I put my hand in and then I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect. I'm like, I'm not desiring anymore. Unless I'm high, I'll eat an ungodly amount of popcorn if I'm high.
When I first moved, like 3 years ago, when I first moved back,
has it been
California,
3 years?
It'll be, I was going to say it'll be 3 years in August. It's August now.
Holy shit.
I know. Like my nighttime snacking, I had it cause everything I do is pretty consistent.
You used to do like crackers and cheese.
Well, that was before. What I would do is I have this little bowl, it's like almost like a ramekin, but not like, it's a small little bowl. And I'd put Blue Diamond roasted salted almonds and then some Blue Diamond honey roasted almonds, the sweeter ones.
Yeah.
And then some just Planters cocktail peanuts and 1 square of dark chocolate caramel sea salt candy.
That's like 500 calories.
Yeah, you eat that takes like 3 bites to eat because it's like a substantial piece of chocolate.
Yeah,
and I do that, and then I'd have 2 little pouches of fruit snacks, like Welch's fruit snacks that I keep in the freezer.
Yeah, keep in the freezer.
Just because they're just delicious that way. They never freeze.
Really?
They can't freeze. They're it's like alcohol. Like gummy bears don't freeze.
Cold.
They're just cold and a little bit tougher, but they're still.
I like frozen grapes. Frozen grapes is a big snack for me in the summer.
Yeah, but it's like
everyone is like a little popsicle. You just get to throw it in your mouth.
But it's like I didn't realize. I'm like, why am I 190 pounds? You know, I don't even eat that much, and it's like, well,
because
that
an ounce
nighttime
of
snack
nuts
routine
is 180 calories, and so if you have like 3 ounces of nuts, you're eating 540 calories, and you can eat that in like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
but nuts are really good for you. That's the crazy thing. Like nuts are really good for you, but they are super high calorie.
Well, I remember it just getting so frustrated because it's like, if I want to let's say I'm out of everything and I need to go to the store. It's like, dude, I have to go to 3 different stores because I guarantee you go to Walmart where you get the Blue Diamond almonds for cheaper. They don't have Planters cocktail peanuts there. They just don't have them.
Right.
Like, not that they're out. They just don't carry them. I'm like, how could you not carry the most ubiquitous, well-known brand of cocktail peanut in the world?
Yeah.
And then you go to Albertsons and it's like, well, they're out of the all they have is the lightly salted roasted almonds, not the salted ones.
And of course, you're not buying the big Costco bag of mixed fancy nuts because they have nuts in there that you don't like.
Yeah, like don't come at me with like some
the Brazil nuts.
Yeah,
or the Brazil nuts.
Some macadamia. What is this? What is this? Yeah. I'm American, okay? But it made it so easy when I stopped snacking at night. You know, like the last couple of years, I don't eat at night anymore, and it's like, oh my gosh! Not only am I saving tons of money, and I'm not driving all over hell and high water looking for these different, very specific brands of peanuts and chocolates. Yeah. But I'm also, I weigh less, you know?
So it's like 169. Holy shit,
so like
dude.
no more, it's just, so I don't measure anything. It's just kind of like, for me, it's more like trial and error.
I weigh 26 pounds more than you right now.
Yeah, and I feel like your calves is 13 pounds.
I feel like I'm in decent shape.
Each of your calves is 13 pounds. Let's be real.
Yeah, maybe. All right, I have a TikTok for us. If you're not watching on YouTube, it's fine. You're not going to get that much more out of the video, but we can watch the video here. So I'm curious what you think about this. It's about a little over a minute and a half. So here we go.
I saw this video of an ashtray from 1929, and to me it represents a period of history you may not have thought a lot about. I don't think you understand how much people in this era felt like they were living in the future. Let's say you're 40 in 1929. That means you grew up in a world where electricity was still pretty rare. When you are 13 years old, you open the newspaper and you read about man's first flight. How cool is that? Well, 13 years later, we have gone from one flight to bombs being dropped on your head from planes. When you were a kid, you didn't even know these things were possible, and now you are hiding from them. You come back from the war, and all of a sudden, electricity is getting really popular. Electric lights are everywhere, and so are cars. Movies are becoming more popular, and so is the radio. Your father fought in the Civil War, and you now have a little machine that can instantly get information wirelessly from across the city, across the country, and, you know, by proxy, across the world. You're now in your 30s and you can even afford a telephone in your own house. You get on a train to go somewhere and you need an ashtray and someone rolls one over to you. You don't think anything of it because everything around you is getting better at such an insanely fast pace. You assume the future is here. Of course, the Great Depression and World War II are right around the corner, and that's a little ugly, but at 55 years old, you see the first atomic bomb drop. Men can now split atoms. When you are 79 years old, you watch a video of us landing on the moon. When you were a kid, no one had ever flown in the sky, and you lived to see someone land on the moon. It is the most change in a single lifetime that a human being has seen, probably in all of human history.
Interesting.
Right? Because, I mean, I think you and I feel the same, like being Gen X, we went from like the craziest like change in history of just like, you know, playing out with our friends and being on this, you know, riding our bikes on the street and like having to call someone on the phone to where we have this thing in our pocket that you can have video calls with somebody at any time, you know? And I think we think like that is the biggest change that anyone's ever experienced. But when he does this video, I'm like, oh, that's like, you're going from no technology or very, very little technology to crazy technology.
Can I drop a little conspiracy theory on you?
Well, I'm watching this video going like, Jason's going to be like, yeah, but we didn't really like land on the moon.
But that's like, not even got nothing to do with the moon landing. That's obviously fake.
Yeah. Go for it.
So there's this whole, I think we've probably touched on this at some point. But there's this whole theory about the old world. And it starts with the architecture, like these buildings, not prehistoric buildings like Stonehenge or Göbekli Tepe or the pyramids, but like historic buildings like St. Paul's Cathedral or, you know, these insane structures that we see throughout Europe and
we're
all
talking
over the world.
2,000 years ago, like the Pantheon and the Colosseum, or are we talking newer than that?
I mean, we're talking about those. But we're also talking about, if you look up like Penn Station in New York, the old one from like 100 years ago, even that, like that is in the same category. And the theory goes that there was some sort of there was a human not aliens. There was a human civilization in the world quite recently that built all this stuff, and we found it. So we didn't roll into like Chicago in 1840 on horseback and mules and just construct these insane buildings. It's ridiculous. Like, it's impossible to have done that. If you look at how many people lived here at that time? Oh, 3,000. Oh, wow. So 3,000 people. How many of them were men? Well, let's say 1,500. Oh, so 1,500 men in the entire area, somehow without any kind of power tool, light, anything but candlelight and horse and buggy, somehow were able to engineer and not just engineer, but like procure the marble and the granite and the stone to create this massive megalithic structure that we could not create today. Like, we don't build like this anymore, right? So the theory is that there was some sort of event after which there was a reset, probably a few hundred years ago. And we've created these timelines we've created these narratives.
We talked about this in the cruise. I'm like, this sounds familiar.
Yeah, we talked about it on the cruise. Yeah. You were super drunk though, so I didn't think you were really listening. I think we both probably had the same amount of drinks. But like, the theory is that like, basically it's like a slow drip where they're reintroducing back into the world some of the technology that existed before us.
Yeah.
So it's like, they had things like flight, things like electricity, free energy. Like, there's evidence that like these things existed before.
Yeah.
In the like 1700s. And whatever happened to, it's like Canticle for Leibowitz, kind of that book. Like, whatever happened,
which I have now.
Yeah.
By the way,
whatever happened, sort of set us back and reset us, so that we've been slowly repopulating and recolonizing the world over the last few hundred years. And this rapid influx of sudden technology, like people say, like, what was it about England in the 1800s that suddenly within a 30-year period, the Industrial Revolution happened? And we've got the steam engine and the not the printing press, but like all these different, why suddenly do we have all this stuff? It makes no sense. We're like, you look at the population of planet Earth, like, look it up, just Google like Earth's population. And it's like, there's no one living here. Like, there's like 11 people living in the whole world until like, 1700, and all of a sudden it shoots up and suddenly we have all this stuff. And so it's like, it's interesting to think about, like, what if whoever built these buildings that we cannot build now and can't explain anymore, what if they just had access to free energy, like Ben Franklin with the kite and the key, like, there's free energy up in the sky. You just have to figure out how to harness it and, produce it and then sell it. Like, what if slowly but surely this tech that existed before is being slowly dripped like a IV drip back into the, so like suddenly that's why we have this massive influx of flight, and then the steam engine, and then the motor car, and then the electric train and all this stuff. So that's a conspiracy theory to think about.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting.
Like, I think so I'm accessing some of my thoughts that I think I had on the cruise. Like, my thoughts of it are, I think it's a fun conspiracy theory, but
it's my favorite one.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about it is there are no consequences for believing it. Like, I have no, if I were to say the Holocaust never happened or the earth is flat or something, there are consequences. You'll lose your job. You'll lose all your friends. Your wife will leave you if you say those things out loud.
Yeah.
This one has no consequences.
Right.
I mean, it does have some, because a lot of the videos about this are banned from YouTube. So you can't, so there are some consequences, but it seems like socially, professionally, it's the least consequential conspiracy theory to believe in. And it's the most fun.
Right.
It
seems to me like just back in the day, we were showing off a bit. It's like, oh, what can we do? And we had more time on our hands. Like, we weren't like so preoccupied with everything. Like how did they build the Pantheon in 2,000 years ago? In Rome, because it's an insane building that's on par with the pyramids for just how crazy it is to have built it. It's just, well, we were just sitting around all day with nothing to do and just figuring out how to do things, right?
But if you look at like pick your building, the New World buildings are better because the narrative makes less sense because there were fewer people, you know. But like Google the Penn Station in New York,
Yeah.
and the old one, and it's like I don't know about this. I don't know about the conspiracy theory, but I do know. I look at that building, and I say there is no way that wasn't already there. Like there's no way that there were a handful of scattered tribes of indigenous Indians running around North America, and then in 1850 there were a few thousand people living in New York City total, with horses and buggies and candlelight, and they somehow built this thing, which we do not build, and I don't think can build now. So I think there's something about the basis of the theory that it's like, I do look. I mean, it is like you don't need. The thing I like about this theory is that you don't need special knowledge. Like I saw top secret CIA files that said that Kennedy's still alive. You don't need any sort of evidence. It's just the evidence is like stone megalithic structures sitting right there. So it's like you look at that and you look at the official records of who lived there, how many people, and the Wikipedia will have a story about, oh yeah, Penn Station was built. They're always destroyed in a fire, by the way. It's like, oh, it was built between 1890 and 1896, and it was destroyed in a fire in 1920, so they demolished it.
This marble structure was destroyed by a fire.
Dude, you know, we all have heard of the Chicago fire, right? The famous Chicago fire.
Yeah.
Every single major city in the world, almost without exception, Seattle being one of them, has a fire narrative. Where you look at these old photographs of these, like, you know, from the 1890s or 1920s of these insane structures in America, and every single one of them was destroyed by a fire. Even though fire, look, we build fireplaces out of brick. Because brick doesn't burn. But apparently every single major structure that you'll ever see in every major city in the whole world, it was destroyed by a fire. Every one of them. You know, so it's like there's something's not right. Like the reason the theory exists is because the little that we know is for sure bullshit.
Yeah. So my gut reaction to it is that a lot of these conspiracy theories are begging the question, and I'm using that term right in that, like, oh, only a few thousand people lived here at this time. Like I'd want to look into that. Like how many people actually lived there, all that. Like, because if that is part of the conspiracy theory. Also, I feel like I looked into one time, like how were all these fires when these castles are built with like stone and stuff, you know, because I was like, what the fuck? And I think I remember reading something that like answered that question for me, like, oh, okay, that makes sense. You know, it's like, it's almost like the Twin Towers, right? It's like, oh yeah, metal can burn if it gets to a certain heat or whatever, and, you know, like melt and stuff. And it was kind of that along those lines, I think. But like, let's go back to this idea that like our generation has experienced the most crazy technological advances of any generation ever. Do you think that if this video is true, and none of the conspiracy theories are, that generation experienced the craziest shift in technology? Or do you still think it's us?
It makes a good case. Like, you know, all things being equal and the narrative being what, you know, true.
Yeah, just at face value.
I do think that the internet is a more significant invention. I think it is the most significant invention in the world. Yeah. Before that was maybe the printing press.
Yeah.
As far as like transforming the world as we know it.
Yeah.
But I do think that from a purely visual and spectacle kind of perspective, I feel like what this proverbial person who was 40 years old in 1929 or whatever he said, like, I think he experienced more change than we ever will, because you went from like you went from horse and buggy, you know, plowing in a field, pissing in an outhouse, you know, and then all of a sudden, by the time you're dead, we're dropping bombs out of airplanes over Dresden,
landing on the moon.
Landing on the moon.
Like like I remember getting my first email or sending my first email. It was AOL Online. It was like late 93. I think maybe 94. And I remember like getting a modem, connecting with like 14.4 or whatever it was to the internet, and then sending an email. It's funny because I think one of my first emails I ever sent was to Joel in Russia, who was, it was, we had a segment on him, Joel, the pastor.
Joel Meyer?
Yeah. What was that segment we used to have that was about him? It was like,
I don't remember this.
Pastors say crazy stuff or whatever.
Okay.
You don't remember this?
Joel's off? Pastor Joel's off?
It was similar. It was like,
I have we've been doing this a long time. I have no memory of this.
Feeding Frenzy. It was Feeding Frenzy.
Oh, about when your friends on Facebook say crazy things.
Shit.
I remember that. Yeah.
And it was him. But 20 plus years earlier, he was in Russia. He was like the farthest person I knew away from me. And I sent him an email and I got an email back the next day. Because before that, I had been in Africa 2 years earlier. And it was like, you want to talk to somebody, well, you're going to send a letter. It's going to take 2 weeks to get the letter there, 2 weeks to get back. And so it was insane, right? But I also was already used to the idea that you could talk to somebody in another country on the telephone, right? So it was like, okay, this is the next step of that. But going from like, you're born in 1889 and the only people you can ever possibly talk to are the people who you are in front of, to suddenly, like, I can talk to somebody in another location. Like, that's an insane leap from like 0 to 100, right? Our leap was from like 100 to, 150 or whatever. Cause it was just like, like that makes sense. Okay. I could talk to somebody through wires this way. Now I can talk to them this way through wires or whatever, or in wireless or whatever. But that went from like the only way I can ever talk to anybody is I'm in person, standing in front of you, talking to you, to suddenly like I can get on the phone with you and talk to you, and you could be 1,000 miles away. Like that's a pretty crazy jump.
Yeah. It's funny. I've been seeing like my algorithm is all about like the 90s were our peak as a society,
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, that's my favorite period, like that was definitely my like coming of age decade. But like I saw this one, I think I sent it to you, it was funny, but I honestly think there's something to this and someone should do it if they have the money. But it was like, hey, we should build like cities that are just like 90s cities. So there's like old timey Taco Bell and Pizza Hut, and there's Blockbuster Video. There's AOL Instant Messenger, but there's no social media. There's no internet other than like what existed back in the 90s. Because people talk about like, I miss the days.
You can still download boobs on the internet.
It just takes a while.
It just takes a while. You got to wait like 2 minutes for like to get to the nipples.
Well, this is what's interesting about. It's interesting being Gen X because I'm starting to see like millennials. Millennials are now old and nostalgic and reminiscent, right? So I'm seeing all this content of like millennials going like, oh my God, you remember when like, you check your email.
They're acting like they're the first generation to go from analog to digital.
Yeah,
and I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, they're biting that from us. But it is interesting to see millennials who are in their mid 40s now, lamenting what we've lost. And it's like, yes, that's exactly right. And it's fun to see a younger generation realizing this. But it's like, because like, dude, I swear to God, if some venture capitalist or some trust fund baby buys 100 acres of land, and just builds a town that's all 90s.
Yeah.
And it's like it's almost like
cell phones don't work in it.
It's like the Pines trilogy by Blake Crouch, right? Where it's like, this is a city that we built that has all kinds of like scramblers where it's like you can't get high-speed internet. Cell phones don't work here, smartphones, nothing.
Yeah.
You have Blockbuster Video and you have AOL Instant Messenger and you have Pizza Hut with the buffet and the red cups and the whole shit with the red and white checkered tablecloths, everything.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's just how it was And that's the level of tech you get. It never goes beyond this. If somebody with the kind of money to build this, I think that person would make like hundreds of billions of dollars. Like imagine we have 1,000 single family homes and another 500 townhomes or, you know, apartments above retail businesses and restaurants for sale in this town. Here's the deal.
Yeah.
We're going to, once all the spots are bought, we're going to take a vote on what to call our town.
Yeah.
And it costs this much, and this is what you're giving up.
Yeah.
But this is what you're getting.
Yeah.
Dude, try to tell me that would not be successful.
Yeah.
I'd go.
Yeah.
I'd happily never be able to stream in HD anymore if it also meant there's no more OnlyFans, there's no more like high-speed internet, there's no more. It's just like, and there's it's cool
and you
to
actually
see.
Talk to people, and you actually like spend time with people, and things are events, and the water cooler moments where everybody's talking about something because you know.
Well, it goes back to my constant refrain lately about politics and about the Shire and about like having some sort of small, self-contained community of largely like-minded people is what we've lost, because you have a high trust society where you don't have to lock your door. You don't have to worry. It's just like you can't have your identity
I don't
stolen.
lock my door, and you give me shit for it. Every
Do
time
I?
you come to visit, you're like, how do you not lock your door? You have more shit that could be stolen by anybody I know, and you don't lock your door. And I'm
meanwhile,
like,
I got to download an app. If you do lock it, I have to download an app to unlock it.
That's why I don't lock it, so you don't have to download the app.
Yeah,
you're
thank
welcome.
you. All of your stuff getting stolen is worth it for me.
Right.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like that would be, and it's cool to see
cool.
like millennials.
What if you could go visit for like
this.
a month or 2 months or whatever? You know, it's like like
I think it would be a tourist destination. I think people would be flying. Like pick a state like Kansas or Oklahoma with nobody in it, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, whatever. Yeah. And you build this town, and it's like 100,000 acres or whatever it is. I don't know acres, but whatever. It's the kind of town that like 5,000 people could fit in.
Yeah.
I think people, and there's 500 spots for tourists, people who want to visit it. Kind of like Dead World, or what's it called?
Westworld.
Dead World. Westworld, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I think that like people from all over the world would visit it. Yeah. I think people from Hong Kong would come visit it. I think people from like Europe, people from like South America would be like, dude, I want to go. I miss those days. I want to see if I could. Dude, I think that would be like a $1 trillion idea. Yeah. If somebody had the money and the real will to like see it through. Yeah. It would take some crazy person. Like all these stories like Jurassic Park or Westworld or the Pines trilogy, it's always some eccentric, billionaire who's behind it. Yeah. It would take somebody like an Elon Musk to make it happen. But tell me you would not be intrigued, and like tell me it wouldn't be successful. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, especially for like, let's say you're like 70 and you're just like, the world is just gone. You don't know how to use a QR code. You don't know how to set up your voicemail on your smartphone. It's just like the world has just passed you by. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, you could make one of these for 70s, one for 80s, one for 90s. Yeah. You could make, it's like an amusement park.
You should get rich so you can make it.
I should get venture capitalists to make it for me.
That should be your
and then I can
pitch.
get rich.
Yeah. 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 So what, like if they did decades, right? Like they did, let's say they did all the decades of the 1900s. Okay.
Well, it would have to be, hold on. Like there has to be a market for it. So there's no one alive right now who's like, dude, the 1910s, those are the best. There's no one alive.
1920s were amazing. Prohibition, the Great Depression, it was awesome.
Yeah. It would have to be like people who are like
1950s
70
would be a big one.
Yeah, because people who are 70, if you're 70 now, you're born in the 50s, right? You were born in 56.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would have to appeal nostalgically to people who are still alive and have the wherewithal to like.
I don't think it has to be nostalgic. Just like looking back, going like, oh, like Midnight in Paris, right? He wanted to be part of the Paris in the 1920s, right?
Dude, imagine like thinking about that movie Pleasantville. Like if you wanted to go back to the 50s, everything is painted in black and white. Have you ever seen those videos where it's like it looks like a black and white video, but it's not? It's a color video. They've just painted everything black and white and gray. No. So it's like it's full color. It just looks like black and white. You'd have to make the one from the 50s like
Yeah.
that, where it's
Yeah.
like, and you have to wear some shade of gray, white, or black when you go out because everything has to be in black and white. Because have you seen Leave It to Beaver? That's how everyone was.
Right. Okay, but let's say that let's just say they make every decade of the 1900s, right? Is the 1990s, and you can only pick one, and you're going to go back and live there forever.
Yeah, that's
it.
going to
the
be
rest of your
hard.
life. You're going to live there. Do you know which? Because I think 1990s are the most nostalgic for you. I'd probably pick the 80s, but like, then I'm start thinking like, oh, well, the 1950s, it's like, you know, that's pretty cool. And the 60s had the Beatles and shit. Like, I wouldn't pick the 70s, you know, but like 90s, 80s, 60s, and 50s, you got to think, and the 40s too, right after World War II, were like, you know.
But keep in mind, this is an experiment in the real world. So it's not like a time machine where if I go back to the 60s, I can go watch the Beatles play at Shea Stadium. It's like, no,
Right.
No, this is still 2026. You're just limiting the so if you go back to the 60s, you can't consume any content that comes out later than that. But you can't like go watch Sandy Koufax or Joe DiMaggio or whatever.
Okay, but the 50s would be compelling.
Yeah.
Everyone's like working, a guy's working at a factory and supporting his family on his salary. And
yeah,
they have a white
has a
picket fence
40-hour-a-week job at the plant, or at the quarry,
he's got a
or
fridge
whatever.
in the garage with beers in it, you know, and like, you know.
Yeah, and there's no like all the bad things about the 50s, like Joseph McCarthy and the whole Red Scare and all that communism. Like none of that's there because it's not it's 2026. It's literally 2026. But so there's no like, oh, I wrote a poem, so the FBI is going to come to my house and throw me in prison for being a communist or something.
Right.
So there's none of that. It's just about the media and the tech.
Yeah.
Dude, I think it would be. I think if you started with, I think the best one to start with would be the 90s, because you've got Gen Xers. The younger side of Gen Xers are all about the 90s, and then millennials love the 90s because that was kind of their growing up decade.
Yeah.
Like for us, the 90s was our coming of age decade. Our growing up decade was the 80s. For millennials, their growing up decade was the 90s. And so they would love it. They would love it for different reasons than us. They would love it for like, oh, remember like the Nickelodeon shows and remember AOL Instant Messenger? We would love it for Radiohead and Nirvana, you know?
Yeah.
But it would be like you start with one, probably the 90s is your safest bet. If I'm pitching like if I'm on Shark Tank and I'm pitching this to like Mark Cuban and those guys, 90s is where we start, but then you build out from there.
Yeah.
And it's got no end because the 2010s are not long enough ago for them to be nostalgic, really, but they will be in 20 years. When I'm 70, there's going to be a bunch of like 40-year-olds going like, dude, you remember like 2012? Dude.
Yeah.
If only we could go back. That market doesn't exist yet, but it will.
Yeah.
Dude, this is the idea. I think that we should, if we really pool our resources, you and me.
For people who have billions of dollars, it's a great idea. Like you could literally, you make like a Vegas type town, but it's 80s or 90s or 70s or whatever. You know,
if I'm in Vegas, I want it to be the 60s, the 50s and 60s with Frank Sinatra and all those guys.
I think you have tons of people who would at least want to go stay for a while. You know, like you said, like Westworld type of idea. I think for me, though, if I had to pick, I'd probably do 80s. I'd probably be like, where do I want to live the rest of my life? It'd probably be 80s. Like, because there's too much internet in the 90s and all that. 80s is just like, you know, I think.
Yeah. It would like, because I think that I feel, I mean, everybody's in their own algorithmic bubble, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the one I'm in gives me the impression that like there's this fatigue that's happening collectively.
Yeah.
I don't know how many like reels and TikToks and memes and retweets I've seen of like, I'm tired of like downloading an app. I'm tired of two-factor authentication if I just want to like make some toast.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't want to have to like download the app for my microwave. I don't want to have to do all this. Like whatever happened to like you buy the fridge, you plug it in, it just works for 30 years.
Yeah.
I don't need to be able to watch, like I don't want to be able to sports bet with Kalshi using my fridge.
Yeah.
I just want a fridge that works.
Yeah.
And it's like, there just seems to be this collective groaning and just like this, like, I don't know, like a fatigue of all this, like
connectivity and everything. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And then you couple that with all of the like diabetes and lack of good health and obesity and people just being, less and less able to like go out and like live in the world and nature because they're just like, too unhealthy. And it's like, all of this is new. All of this, you have to be old enough to understand, like, all of this obesity, all of this like anxiety and mental health issues and all these ways that cripple people from being able to enjoy the world. This is all new stuff. And like when something is a brand new problem, it's because there's a cause of every effect. And if the effect is new, so is the cause. What is it? Well, it's all this stuff. Well, if we could go back before that and just like,
Yeah, I think about this quite a bit, listening to people talking about technology and AI and all this stuff. And I'm just like, I think that if we survive in 40, 50, 60 years, that this time is going to be looked at as just the unhealthiest time in the world. Like not physically, also partly physically, but like mentally for humanity, it's just like, and part of me watches it and just goes like, I don't know how we survive this, like long term. I don't know where if humanity survives this, we don't kill each other with nuclear bombs or viruses or AI doesn't destroy us, like I just really don't, I don't get how we, like, at some point we have to look at the human race and be like, oh, we really, really fucked ourselves up. We got to get back to like, the progress we were making intellectually and emotionally and, spiritually and all that before.
Yeah. I mean, I think about this stuff all the time too. The problem is like any prospect of like recapturing this is ugly and I don't think anyone
necessarily has to be. Like you think about, like, I can't keep track of the generations anymore. What's the newest generation?
Like
Gen Z?
Yeah. There's Gen Alpha. Gen Alpha are like, I think, high school kids or something.
Okay. Gen Z is like rejecting a lot of the stuff that like the millennials and Gen X embraced technology wise. There's like, and then drinking less, like, Gen Z is like drinking way less than everybody else.
They're drinking way less. They're living at home longer. They're not getting their driver's licenses at 16. They're not. They don't party. They're very different.
Yeah.
But in other ways, I find Gen Z almost more. I find like I feel like Gen X and Gen Z have a connection that skips the millennials when it comes to like woke stuff. Because I feel like Gen Xers never really bought into the woke stuff.
Yeah.
We may have played along for peace.
Yeah. Until it went too far, and then we're. But
I feel like the millennials are definitely the woke generation. Like most of like pick whatever the most silly examples of wokeism you want. I think most of that is driven by millennials. But I think that like the Gen Z are like they're seeing through that in the same way that we are, because we didn't invent it. The millennials mostly invented it. And so it was imposed on us from below. It's imposed on Gen Z from above.
Yeah.
But I feel like X and Z have some sort of like connection on that level where it's like, you can just, if they're retarded, you can just say retarded. Like, it doesn't have to be like, you can say, I met this black guy. It doesn't have to be like, it's not a slur. Like black is not a slur any more than white is. It's fine. Just fucking grow up and get over it. Right. No one's trying to hurt you. No one's harming you. You're not in any danger.
Well, what I was going to say is that I don't think I think that part of the benefit of being a capitalistic society is that if people aren't buying something, corporations change, And so I do think that like if Gen Z and new generations start rejecting stuff, the corporations are going to change. You know, it's like why did we have this great technology boom and change? Because we all bought into it. You know, if people are like starting to put down their phones and like not be online as much, like they're going to be like, all right, everything's shifting. Let's like,
well, there's a whole movement
of
like flip phones. Like there are people who are like going back to flip phones because it's like I can do like rudimentary texting and I can call people, but I'm not getting notified. I'm not getting every time there's the Lakers make a trade, or every time Sydney Sweeney has a nip slip, I get some sort of like, you know, ping in my pocket. It's like,
you can just see her tits on Euphoria, by the way. You don't have to worry.
There's nothing. Yeah. What's like you? It's all out there. Yeah. No, but it's like, I feel like, I don't know. There's definitely a.
It doesn't have to be we're going to burn it all down. It can just be people get fatigue of it and be like, we're tired of this shit, and and corporations stop making money on it, and they're like,
well, think about. I was going to say when you were talking about corporations shifting, it's like the American Eagle Sydney Sweeney campaign from like a year ago.
Yeah, the jeans
is an example.
She has good jeans. Yeah,
because that I feel like let's say I feel like all of the people who were livid over that ad campaign, I feel like 75% of them were probably millennials. I feel like most Gen Xers were like, yeah, that's a good campaign. Yeah. She's a beautiful woman.
It's clever.
It's a funny play on words. It's double entendre.
Yeah, Jeans. Oh, Gens. Oh,
it's clever. And I think Gen Z are probably so fed up with their millennial parents that they're like, oh my God, I love this. Even though my mom is upset about it and, you know, thinking that it's like sexist. It's like, she's a beautiful woman making an ad for jeans being sexy, like the old Carl's Jr. ad with the girl in the bikini eating the Western bacon cheeseburger, dripping barbecue sauce all over her chest.
Oh my God, Western bacon cheeseburger.
I know, but it's like,
it's so long. This is so good. Double Western bacon cheeseburger.
But I want you and I want our audience to weigh in on this. Like, I do feel like millennials are in this weird isolation from Gen X and Gen Z. They're sandwiched by people who don't quite trust them because of this, a lot of the silliness. It got out of control. You know?
I don't keep up on the generations as much as you do, the generational stuff. Like I learned most of the generational stuff from you and your posts. Like, because I can't even keep them straight, like who's who or whatever. I did send you the one the other day that was like, who are the best parents? Remember, it went through like the silent generation, the boomers, Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z. It was like, who are the best parents? And the Gen X were the best parents. They were like number one.
Because we weren't just like totally, like we weren't just hovering like millennial parents. Like, oh my God, let's have an intervention. Like, oh, you accidentally stabbed your brother. Well, let's talk about it and find out your feelings. We weren't doing that. Yeah. But we weren't also like putting cigarettes out on our kids, like our parents were. You know, so it's like that happy medium.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good argument. It wasn't just a Gen X person doing it. It was like a survey or whatever, but it was interesting. I want to get to one more point that I think is kind of related to what we were just talking about a little bit. But before I want to do that, I want to give a shout out to your son Maddox's film that he put on YouTube.
Yeah,
dude. So I've only been able to watch 10 minutes so far. But it's 25 minutes long, I think, on YouTube. But I'm like looking forward to the moment I can sit down and watch the rest of it because it's very clever. And you know, it's like they're not actors, so it's like, okay, but it's like they did a pretty good job for their first. I'm like, you guys could all become actors, you know, like especially Maddox. I thought he was like good. Like I've been wanting to write him, but I want to finish it first and be like, dude, this was like really good. And I have a guy that I work with at the Well and Table. His name is Bo, and he's really, really into filmmaking. He's like 19 years old, and like he's about to put this movie up that he's been working on. And he's actually gone down to California and like hung out for a week with the filmmaker. And like, he's like, this is his like career path, you know? And so I sent him Maddox's film just yesterday or on Sunday over text. And I told him like, you know, take a look at this. And then I said, send me your film when you put it on YouTube. Cause I'm like, I know how into it he is. And I didn't realize how into it Matic was. I don't know if it was just like something to do for fun or he really wants to make films.
No, he's serious. He's not.
But I'm like,
yeah,
two guys that are really interested in making films that both live in like this area. They should like get to know each other, or you know, if they resonate, if their films resonate with each other, be like, oh, dude, let's like collaborate or whatever. But it's so fun watching the first 10 minutes of it. I'm excited to watch the end of it. But it's called The Script, and it's on YouTube, and you posted it on your Facebook. But like, I'm so proud as his honorary uncle to see him do that.
I love the little tagline about it.
It's very meta, right?
What's the I want to find the little tagline.
Yeah, it was like the first 10 minutes I was impressed. I was like, oh, especially with the script, you know, I was like, this is very clever. It's making me chuckle, and I love watching it.
Yeah, I was looking for the little tagline about the film, but yeah, it's like this, you know, musings of an aspiring filmmaker, you know. It was really good. I mean, I was, you know, I'm a little bit, there's a certain part that I'm a little bit like confused about.
Yeah.
But it was clever. There's a part, have you gotten to the party when he goes to the party? There's this, think so. You would remember, there's this great scene. It's funny because I know all these kids in it because they're all just Maddox friends. You know, they all helped him out. Yeah. One of the cast members is Fiona, his little sister. You know.
Oh, she's in it.
Yeah, she plays the receptionist at the bigwig studio guy's office. But there's a part where Maddox is talking. He gets reluctantly dragged to this party.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't want to go. These people are all just like shallow losers. I'm not gonna have anything to talk to them about, because he's a pretentious a-hole.
Yeah.
Because he's like I'm an artist, but he's not yet. Yeah. And that's the part he's playing. And he's like, there's a part where he's describing, he meets this girl, and he's talking to her, and she's like, what do you do? And he's like, oh, well, you know, I'm a filmmaker. Well, first he's like, I'm sort of a I'm a stay-at-home. What does he say? I'm a stay-at-home. I'm a student working remotely. And she's like, oh, where do you go to school? He's like, well, I don't actually go to school per se, but you know, I'm a filmmaker. And he talks about, he has this line where he talks about breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
But it's so good, and this is not going to work on audio, it'll work on video. But he's talking to her, and he's like, yeah, so I think it's interesting to every now and then break the fourth wall. And as he breaks the fourth wall, as he says the phrase breaks the fourth wall, he breaks the fourth wall and looks at the camera. Yeah. It's pretty clever.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm legit excited to watch the last 3/5 of it that I didn't get a chance to watch before.
Yeah.
I didn't even mean to watch the first 10 minutes of it. I just like clicked on it, and then I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And like, oh, like he wakes up from his like little dream at the beginning. I'm like, oh no, okay, I'm into this, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like, was he the driver for this? Was he like, does he want to be a filmmaker, or was like all his friends are equally into it? Or was it, who wrote it? Like, was it him and his friends wrote it?
No, he did everything.
Okay.
He wants to either be a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Or like a sports analyst.
Yeah. I want him to be a filmmaker.
But either way, he wants to be in front of a camera. Like he's like his older sister Ainsley. He's like very good at, like, he was a debate, you know, champ and all that. So he's very, very comfortable in front of a camera with a microphone, in front of a crowd, whatever.
Yeah.
And so either one of those two job careers, you know, are involved that. And I think he'd be great at either one.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, if you ask him, what are your favorite movies? If you ask any 19-year-old, what are your favorite movies? They're going to be like The Hulk, Spider-Man, and Iron Man.
Yeah.
Maddox will be like Dog Day Afternoon, Breakfast at Tiffany's, and The Godfather. Or you know, because he's like an actual like auteur who really watches. Like he's seen more movies than I have. I
want to sit down with him and just I need to like text him and be like, let's just hang out sometime, or come over and watch a movie or something, you know. Like he can take your place, because you used to like movies. We used to talk about them. Now I'm gonna,
I kind of feel like you're. I feel like
Fuck
you're
you.
taking my place.
It's just me and Matic now. We're gonna go.
No, this is you. This is you taking my place. This is not him taking my place. This is you taking my place.
I'm gonna be his father figure.
Yeah.
I want to hook him up with Bo, who is really into filmmaking, because I think like,
they could be the next Ben Affleck, Matt Damon.
Yeah. But I would love, like, I will do anything to see Matic be a filmmaker. Anything. Just like, that's what, when I was his age, if I would have even thought that, oh, that's a possibility, or I could do that, or anything. But it was so out of reach to me at that age. Like, even though I lived in Southern California, it was like completely out of reach that anything like that could ever happen. But if I had like the inkling that, like, if I try really hard for 10 years, it may or may not happen, but it might, I think I would have done it. But I just think, even then, I just thought, like, it doesn't matter how hard I try, it's never going to happen. It's unattainable.
Well, back then, everything was like gate kept, you know,
right.
Like if unless you're a part of one of the 3 major studios,
right,
or unless you have, you know, one of the 3 major agents, you'll never get your voice out there.
Right.
You know, but it's like the internet just changed everything.
Yeah. That'd make me so happy. Anyway, okay. So the last thing I wanted to bring up, and it's kind of what we were talking about earlier. So
I got like 15 minutes, by the way.
Yeah, it shouldn't take that long. We do have a Pastor Jack's off though, too.
We'll have to get to that next time.
We can do this all in 15 minutes.
Okay.
What do you got?
I gotta make my dad dinner.
You've waited an extra 5 minutes.
All right. Let's go.
All right. So this is our last one, by the way, for a couple weeks. We're gonna take 2 weeks break, because I'll be out of the country and you'll be here watching a cat, 2 dogs, and 3 chickens. So
I'll probably just watch the cat, 1 dog, and 2 chickens.
That's fine.
You'll find out which ones got neglected when you get home.
Yeah. So there's a podcast I listen to called Diary of a CEO. Have you heard of it?
Mm-hmm.
He interviews this OpenAI researcher named Daniel Kokotailo. He basically walked away from $2 million from OpenAI, instead of staying silent. But basically, he believes there's like a 70% chance that AI leads to human extinction. And I listened to this whole 2-hour thing from him, and he kind of goes into like how and why and all this stuff. And he also believes that like super intelligence is going to arrive before the end of the decade and all this. But like, I've always just been kind of like, what's the big deal? Like, unplug it, like whatever, you know?
Yeah. I'm usually the one heralding the AI as the doomsday prophet, and you're the one saying, oh, it's fine. They can't even figure out how to like punctuate correctly. They're not going to take over anything.
I still, well, I mean, first of all, part of what could be destroyed, but be what destroys us, is that it's not really super intelligent. It's just like, like the whole concept has been like, okay, imagine you tell AI, make as many paper clips as possible. And then AI is like, well, to do that, I have to kill the humans to make much, it's like, it takes it very literal, and it's like, part of me thinks, yeah, that's a dumb AI who doesn't like have any nuance and doesn't understand like, that like, we don't want to harm humans or whatever, so, but it's like the AI he's talking about is more like, okay, we have robots. We've created robots. We put AI into the robots. Now the robots are creating more advanced robots. It just keeps like iterating itself really quickly at that point until you get these super machines that are super intelligent and decide like, we don't need humans anymore, and he calls it alignment. Like, alignment with AI and humans is important. If they're misaligned, then AI will destroy humans. If they're aligned, I think aligned here means like believing that humans are important and should be like not destroyed, then we're fine. But I'm part of me is like, he's like, in that future, when humans and robots and AI are aligned, then we have this wonderful future of super abundance, and everybody has, everyone gets $10 million a year to live however they want because robots are doing all the work and all this stuff.
Could you tell in this scenario, could you just tell AI, if you're still in control of it, could you say, hey, since money is just fake, just add 3 zeros to everyone's bank account.
Right.
Because like, what would change? Like if somebody went on and like just added 3 zeros to everyone's net worth,
yeah,
like literally nothing would change.
Well, I've heard
Like-
a guy that literally believes that if we did this right, everybody could have $10 million a year, and AI is just, AI and robots are doing all the work, and we get all this money to spend money, and
You don't even need
all that.
work. Like in a digital currency situation, like if you hacked in to everyone, let's say you hacked in one fell swoop to everyone's bank account and just added zeros to their net worth or their balance.
Yeah.
And then just like logged out, and everyone just woke up tomorrow with extra money, but no one said anything. Nothing would change.
Yeah.
Like no one, because it's not a zero sum game. No one would be like, hey, where's all my money? Oh, it was given to these people.
Right.
It'd be like, no, everyone just has more money now. Somehow. It's
Right.
literally like a clerical maneuver.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know, like, does that make money worth less if everybody has $10 million? Then is money worth less? I don't know, but anyway, listening to this podcast did make me think, like, oh, there are. I don't agree with this guy, but like there are serious people who are in the know with AI, who worked at OpenAI for years, and his whole job is like AI forecasting, who believe there's a very good possibility that if we don't change things and the government doesn't intervene and companies don't slow down, that we will be extinct as a human race in the next 15 years, and it does make you start thinking, like, is that possible? And how would I feel if I'm like watching the world go extinct around me and just being like, like this is like we have a new race of beings that have come up.
Yeah, we had a good run.
They're super intelligent. Yeah, it's like humans haven't been here that long. We just think like, oh, we're the owners of this place. We're going to be here forever. And it was a very weird thing to actually really, really think about, even though I don't think that's the likeliest outcome, to be like, oh, we are getting to this place where, we could destroy ourselves pretty easily. And like, I feel like nuclear holocaust is the very intentional destruction of ourselves. And AI and robotics is the kind of almost unintentional, even though we know like this could happen and we're still going like full speed ahead on it.
But robots have other functions than merely destruction.
Right.
A nuclear bomb has one function. A robot can be a million things, but it could also be the thing that kills us.
Right.
That's the difference.
Yeah. And I just think it's super fascinating. And also it's like it does harken back to the atomic bomb to me, where his thing is saying like, whoever comes up with super intelligence first, let's hope it's us. And every person like Sam Altman, Musk, Dario, whatever his name is with Anthropic, they are all thinking like, we need to get there first because we need to make it responsible, and it's like, and China is dumping all this cheap AI into the American economy. It's like, I think Chinese models used to be used like 8%, and now they're like 58% or something like that. And it's like, China's not being responsible according to what we're being told with their AI, and they're dumping it into America. Like, and every company is thinking like, we need to come out with the most responsible, moral AI for us, because that's going to take over everything, and government's going to be able to use it to their advantage and all this stuff. And who do we want? Which country do we want to use? We want to have it and all this stuff. And I'm just like, it's one of those things where there is no stopping this, and every company is like, with the atomic bomb, it's like, we got to have it first. We got to get it before the Germans get it,
But the first country that gets it drops it.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm, but it's like, I also get that argument. Like I watch Oppenheimer and I'm like, yeah, of course he felt like he had to do this, it's like, but it's like, nobody's going to stop these companies from continuing. It's just like, I'm just watching this like train wreck happen. Like, oh, well, AI is not a big deal unless you have robots. Oh, well, here's a guy creating millions of robots that can, like be soldiers.
Maybe
It's
these
just
two people
insane.
will meet one another.
Yeah.
Like maybe Maddock and Bo will meet
Right.
for something good. Maybe AI guy is going to meet robot guy, and they're going to be like,
Right.
it's peanut butter and chocolate, like in the Reese's peanut butter cup
That's
commercials
right.
from the 80s.
Or maybe they're going to be the same person. Maybe it's going to be Elon Musk with the robots
You
and
put
Grok.
your AI in my robot. You put your robot in my AI.
That's right. For people who don't remember that commercial from the 80s. Anyway, all right, let's do. I've got Pastor Jack's off for us. Pastor Jack's off. I see you looking at. Do you have a clock on your wall?
No, I have a clock on my monitor.
Okay.
I have the little clock icon or widget.
Is your
whatever you
dad
call it.
like, I've got to eat at 7:45?
No, but here's the thing about when you get old.
Yeah.
Here's a cautionary tale for everybody.
He's 80 pounds. How much is he going to lose if he doesn't eat till?
It's not
8
about
o'clock?
that. It's about when you're that age and you haven't really like worked on hobbies and
Yeah.
you know,
He just
it's
sitting
like-
down there.
he's waiting for the food to come. Like his entire life is like, I have breakfast and then I have dinner, and everything in between those two things is like waiting for the other thing to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. So these videos are quick. One is 40 seconds, one's 36 seconds. Pastor Jack's off. Okay. So Pastor Jack's off. Calvary Chapel Chino Hills, Pastor Jack Hibbs. We think he is a bit off, and this is Pastor Jack's off. So here we go. Here's the first one.
Friend, please never get sucked up into the headlines. You'll end in depression. Always bring the truth down out of God's cloud and apply it.
God's cloud. You hear what he see what he did there?
I was distracted by his toupee. Go ahead.
Apply it to the headlines that you see. Because listen, you'll never discern, understand, and know what to do next if you don't have a biblical base for the rhetoric, the news, the reality or not that's buzzing around us. Always invest your soul and your mind in the Word of God, more now than ever before. Friend,
Is this some plug for his news network?
I don't know. But this is the next one. Cracks me up.
hey, friends, listen, crazy headlines of all sorts, all over the world. And how do we look at them? How are we supposed to interpret these things? How are we supposed to understand these things? I promise you, friend, right here, through the lens of the Word of God. There's no other way. If you don't look at the Word of God first before you consult news, you're going to go crazy. We're going to step into some things that ought to bring sanity into an otherwise insane world. So let's buckle up and get into this. God bless you.
Like, I love that his whole thing is like, don't get caught up in the headlines. And then his desk is like 30 pictures of headlines that he wants to talk about.
He's got stacks of headlines under his mattress at night that he looks at with a flashlight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, dude, what is the what verse am I supposed to read to make sense out of the wildfires in Spokane?
Right.
There's
Right.
huge wildfires in Eastern Washington right now. Like, where's the what chapter of Ezekiel is going to help me make sense of this?
Well, it's funny
It's like,
because
it reminds me of Dave Chappelle when he was talking about like on 9/11. Like he was saying on 9/11, it was like MTV News or someone had like Ja Rule on
Yeah,
to talk
yeah.
about what happened.
yeah.
And Dave Chappelle's like, "Yo, man, I think I might need answers that Ja Rule might not have. You know, like, hey, the world is going crazy, everything's falling apart. Where is Ja Rule? Like, what does Ja think about this?" It's like, no, this is above his pay grade. I don't think that this is going to help.
Well, it's funny because I bet if you went through the last like 25, 30 years of Jack Hibbs sermons, there's so many headlines that he used to make some point with the Bible that have just gone and left and nothing ever happened. Right.
You could do like a Google search of like Jack Hibbs, Walter Mondale, Antichrist. I guarantee you,
Right.
the 1984 presidential candidate had like sermons preached about him at Calvary Chino Hills.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, this guy is so into headlines and brings them into every sermon. And then he's like, but you got to interpret them with the Bible. And it's like, no, you're not interpreting these events with the Bible. You're interpreting the Bible with these events. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Because of his paradigm, which says that the Bible prophesies things that are about to happen in the end times, and we're living in those times. And so if whatever interpretation of what Iran is doing turns out to be false, but it was correct to try to interpret it that way because it's talking about the end times, and that's what we're living in.
Right. Right.
As opposed to, no, it's illegitimate completely to try to interpret the Bible by contemporary news.
Yeah.
Because it has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
But it's like when you have that paradigm, you have to be just like scouring the headlines,
Constantly.
you know?
You have to have a whole sheet of papers on your desk that are talking about the headlines.
You got like
finding a way to incorporate them into your Bible study.
Yeah, you just like put a bunch of lotion on one hand, Bible in the other, headlines on your desk, just like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
That's a good headline.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, dude, I'll let you go feed your dad.
See you tomorrow.
I hope he knows how to eat for the next 18 days while you're up here.
I baked a whole lasagna earlier today,
yeah.
and I'm going to cut it up into little portions.
Nice.
You know?
You're a good
He'll be
son.
fine.
You're a good
Yeah,
son.
he'll be good.
All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, later.
All right, bye.